listening to the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now your host, Joshua Mulgrew.
Hello again, this is the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and your personal development. My name is Dr. Joshua Mulgrew, and I am the lovely host of this program. And a lot of people love to call me Uncle Josh, and I like it when you call me Uncle Josh. So Uncle Josh welcomes you to this Marriage Clinic podcast. We had an intriguing subject we've been dealing with, and hopefully today I'll be done with it. How to spot marriage material. How to spot marriage material. 7 questions to ask. How to spot marriage material. 7 questions to ask. And I've been trying to explain to you that this series has been about when you want a serious relationship. When you're considering a serious relationship. When you've been at that point where you are actually tired of trial and error, and you want to date someone who most likely is going to lead to marriage. This may not be too relevant for the 15-year-old or the 20-year-old who is dating for dating's sake, but will be more relevant to the person who has decided, hey, I think I want something that is serious and hopefully will last for my life. So here we are. I gave 5 over the last 2 weeks, and I'll be coming to the last 2. But let me give you a quick recap. The first question I said you should ask is, how well do our personalities match? How well do our personalities match? The second question you were to ask is, are they passionate about marriage or a wedding? Am I this person asking me out? Is it a wedding they want or it's a marriage they want? This lady that I'm interested in, do I think she wants a wedding, or this is somebody who's thinking about a marriage? Brings me to number 3. How compatible are we in terms of our family and social background? We spoke about the importance of a social background and how you cannot wish it away. Which brought us to number 4. Does our faith converge? Issues of religion are a big deal. You can't wish them away. They are important to us. So where does our faith converge? How does our faith converge? And number 5, which was the last I mentioned, was what are their influences? Who influences their life? Who speaks into their life? What has formed their worldview? So this week we're back, and we're to the 6th one, is what do you have in common besides physical attraction? What do you have in common besides physical attraction? Yes, I know he's light-skinned. Yes, I know he's tall, dark, and has hair on his chest. Yes, I know he has a shiny bald head that you love and turns you on. But aside the physical, aside her figure, aside her hair, her looks, the size of her nose, the look of her toenail, aside all of that, what do you have? And if you stripped away his looks and her looks, what do you actually have in common? All right. Physical attraction is the initial spark that draws 2 people together. Okay. You can't fall for someone without having a certain level of physical attraction. So no, I'm not saying physical attraction is bad. All I'm saying is that it shouldn't be the most important thing. Because physical attraction is not enough to sustain a relationship. There are other aspects of compatibility that are essential for a healthy and happy relationships. These are things like your interest, hobbies, values, goals, humor. Can you laugh together? I mean, you can't choose to be in a relationship with somebody that you can't have fun with and laugh. It can't always be a serious thing that's going on. Okay? There may be areas where you and your partner share common ground or enjoy doing things together. There must be these areas. All right? And it is important to find out if you and your partner can celebrate and cultivate these commonalities. What we agree on, what we like doing, besides just looking at each other and wanting to kiss each other. For instance, a person who loves reading books may have a different lifestyle from a person who enjoys clubbing. Okay? If not that there's anything wrong with clubbing, if that's your thing. Okay? If clubbing is your thing, fine. Or maybe someone who enjoys playing video games. So you need to understand that we must have more in common aside he's fine and she's fine. This is extremely important. Brings me to number 7, which is the last one. Now, if you could quietly take off your feminist eyeglasses, if you are a lady, and just listen for a moment with an open heart, you would understand. Now, if you don't believe that the man should lead the home, and if you don't believe that the husband is the head of the home, at this point, just switch off whatever media you're listening to me on. Take the first 6 points and move on. You'll enjoy that. But if you believe that every relationship and every association must have structure, and you understand that one must lead and the other must follow, but the one that must lead must have enough love and wisdom to lead the other better than he would even lead himself, then you should keep watching or listening to this. All right? Leadership and submission are biblical within the Christian faith, and even the Islamic faith and a lot of faiths are principles that we accept. Okay? Within the Christian faith, we believe that the husband is the head of the home, and the wife is supposed to submit, and the husband is supposed to love. Submission does not mean you are a fool, and leading does not mean you are king. Because it goes on to say that, especially in the Christian faith, it goes on to say that husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, and be willing to lay down your life for them. So that means that we are talking about servant leadership. We are not talking about political leadership. We are not talking about lording it over autocratic. We are talking about servant leadership, where your leadership looks out for the needs and the benefits of the person you are leading more than you look at it for yourself. So let's put that caveat there. Now, leadership is the husband's ability, and it is his duty to love, to protect, to provide, and to guide his wife. Ultimately, the husband takes decisions for the family, not only for the wife, but for the children. Submission is a willingness and a duty to a wife. That means you are respecting your man, you are honoring him, you are supporting him, and you follow him as the leader. Now, I hear a lot of ladies saying, I can't submit to this, my husband, or I can't submit to this guy. Well, the beauty of life is that you choose who you submit to. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you must pick a dress. To ladies who don't like submitting, let's say you must pick a dress that you're going to wear for the rest of your life. You have the chance to pick the dress. You definitely will pick a dress that you love. You pick a dress that fits. You pick a dress that you are comfortable in. But if you have the right to pick a dress and you go pick a dress that is tight, a dress that does not cover you well enough, and a dress that people hate, then you turn around and say, why should I have to wear a dress? Then the problem is you. So while you are getting to know the person, ask, with the way this guy makes his decisions, with the way he handles money, with the way he behaves, is this somebody I can submit to for the rest of my life? Is this somebody I'm willing to leave the direction of my family to? He's going to be the one who chooses the direction with my advice, but ultimately it is him. Or is this somebody who is, yes, he's good looking, but he doesn't have the intelligence to lead me? Now, on the other hand, you, the man, have to ask yourself, this lady that I'm looking at, is she someone who can follow, or she has masculine energy? We meet women out there who say they are strong and they are bold, but in reality, they are just trying to behave like a man. So is this a woman out there who just has masculine energy, wants to behave like a man, but still have the benefits of a woman? Or is this somebody I can work with? Is this somebody I can partner with? Is this somebody who will respect my opinion and take my views on board? Is this somebody I can say, no, we are not doing that, and she will say respectfully, I don't think this is the right decision, but because you are the head, let's go with it. So it's really important that you ask yourself these questions. Can he lead me? Can she submit to me? If you can't answer these questions, you have no business dating the person. So I've given you 7 important questions you must ask yourself. 7 important questions you must ask yourself before you choose to go into a relationship. Now, if you consider these 7 issues and put them together, and you have good answers, and you decide to go into the relationship, I can assure you there is a strong likelihood that that relationship will end in a marriage. If you ignore these questions and you choose to jump in and say we are in love, you will soon find out that you will be a poet and you can write songs because you become a philosopher. So hey, this has been Uncle Josh bringing you good information. Coming up next is Ask Uncle Josh. We're bringing you some great questions, and we're bringing you some old questions as well, but I think they will still be relevant for today's time. Okay, we are back with Ask Uncle Josh, and today Rebecca has sent me a question. And Uncle Josh is not very happy with the question, but Uncle Josh shall answer the question. My boyfriend does not know how to cook, and I'm not comfortable with the way he always buys food outside. Is it okay if I always cook for him, even though we are not married? Rebecca, Becky, I see where you are going with this question. Becky, how was your boyfriend surviving all these years before you met him? And who has suddenly made you cooker-in-chief for the relationship? Uncle Josh always reminds you, don't give wife benefits on a girlfriend's salary. Rebecca, you are about to start giving wife benefits on a girlfriend's salary. Advise him. Let me give you a good idea. Get cooking channels on YouTube and send him the links. He should start to learn how to cook. It will help you when you marry. You yourself, there'll be times you'll be tired and you will need him to cook if you guys get married. But my dear sister, going to become a weekend cook for him, you will soon be cooking more than food. So my advice, occasionally you can cook a meal for him, but please don't make it a habit of acting like a wife when you are on a girlfriend's salary, and who knows, you may just be one of many. All right, so take care, Becky. Let's listen. All the ladies out there, keep listening. And thank you so much for joining the Marriage Clinic podcast. Please look for me on all platforms. That is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and all of them. Just look for Dr. Joshua Mogri. The Mogri is spelled M-O-G-R-E. And send me a message, send me a friend's request, comment on my videos. Even if you disagree, I always love to hear from you. Take care and bye-bye. I'm someone